So this is talking about Counter-Strike and the approach to how you build it. And this is saying that you do casual and the pros will find out how high the skill ceiling is, and that's exactly wrong. Sorry. You are right. This is how you do it if you're making something and you're not Valve. But if you're Valve and you're making Counter-Strike, like when we were doing CSGO, this is not how we did it. Because Valve gets to assume the casuals will come. Valve gets to assume you were going to get hundreds of thousands, if not millions of players for free just by putting it out there. And if you are a brand new dev, if you're an indie dev, you can't look at Valve, how Valve does something and go, oh, we should do it that way. Valve gets to do that. You don't. And even Valve, look at Artifact. When they had millions of people going to try it and they still couldn't land it, it's still hard. Okay, but on CSGO, we purposely involved all the pros. And we just looked at it from the pro approach. If the pros are playing it, and if they're engaged, and if they can be competitive about it, and if they can express their skill level above other people inside of it, everyone else will come. But again, you only can do that if you're Valve, or Blizzard, or Riot, or somebody like that, right? You have to have that reputation that people will buy in and just be like, it's worth me putting time into this because I will get value out of putting my time into it. When you're a little indie dev, nobody has that. Nobody has that equation in their head that they think it's going to be worth putting their time into it. I think like ignoring things like that do something really radically different that aren't just 5v5. I'm talking about like 5v5, 3v3, really small shooters like this that are in this space. You have to like, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't know the answer here because nobody's done it. Right? Like Riot did it out of sheer will. Valve can do it. The finals is probably the closest, and that's struggling really hard. I mean, some friends did some other stuff in this space, and even if you do something interesting, it's really, 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 really hard because players are scared to put that time in because they don't know if they're going to get it back out. Right? They're going to get the value of that back out because what if your game goes away? Then they're not. They just wasted a bunch of time. Where Valve can release something. Valve can release something that's pretty rough. Valve can release something that's not so good. And people will still give it the time of day and they'll still try it and they'll still engage with it, right? I think CSGO, I'm proud of what we released. I wish we had done some things that were a little bit more, even more focused on just the matches and the competitive. Like I didn't like the medals and all of that stuff, but that's fine. Those are choices. People did it. It wasn't a lot of work. And the gun game stuff, like that's fine to have that for the casuals, but that's not why that game caught on. That game caught on because you had those competitive matches and you go there and you can express your skill and you can then measure yourself against that. At least that's my opinion. Feel free to tell me I'm wrong, but I really do think people like Valve and Riot and Blizzard and other big companies get to do that in a way that smaller companies with unknown IPs just simply do not get to do.